Do you see all of this life behind me? All of the trees, the mountains, the sun rising over the horizon. I swear, sometimes when I come out here and I just am in nature and just enjoy and admire and have a reverence for nature, it seems like there's more substance in this life right here than many of the other dead people walking around. It's literally the walking dead out here. There's so many people that are spiritually dead walking around. They want you to be spiritually dead with them. What they don't understand is that we worship a living God. We worship a God of life, of abundance, of joy, of truth and justice. Not any of this fake crap that you'll see out here. We don't have idols or anything like that. We don't try to be anything. We just be. We're not trying to do something here or there. We're just being. And society hates us for it. Society hates us for it. Men, we have to realize that on semen retention, you're going to be a threat to the system. Okay, you're going to be a threat, whether you know it or not. I just got recognized yesterday. I did some searching around. We had an art of seduction class yesterday in the Regal Academy. And we were talking about how to embody certain archetypes of seduction into our daily life that might be a little bit more like healthy in the long run, even though the archetypes themselves are not always healthy. What kind of traits can we contribute to ourselves and embody that are going to be healthy for us? And one of the members in the group and in the class was talking about how the coquette, for example, is really good at vetting people. And so if you can learn how to vet people and even do like background checks and everything. So I was like, wait a minute, we can do background checks? Okay, let's check this out. Turns out I did a background check on myself. I'm on a government watch list. And so people are saying, like, I posted this on Instagram, and then I also posted it in the school community, the Regal Academy that we have, the group. And people are like, new achievement unlocked. It's funny because this is what's going to happen. When you naturally are a glitch in the system, and it's not just semen retention, okay? It's what you're doing with the energy that you're getting and what you're putting out there, right? By the way, welcome to another Semen Retention Sunday episode here on the channel. But it's like when you're trying to preach against everything that's going on in society, yeah, you're going to be put on a watch list sooner or later, right? You're going to be put on a watch list in some way, shape, or form because they don't want the truth to come out. There's too much truth, and our enemies don't like it, and we must defeat our enemies. There are so many people out here that are consumed by the spirits of demonic entities, and they're so consumed by just these ideologies, right? These are ideological subversions that have completely taken over themselves, and they no longer have a sense of autonomy because they've given their autonomy to these ideals that they don't even care to really know about. Like, think about, holy moly. Like, think about all of the, I'm pretty sure that was a snake down there. I'm not like scared of snakes, but rattlesnakes can be out here sometimes. So I'm just going to be like moving up a little bit because I definitely don't want to be near a rattlesnake. But anyway, there's a lot of snakes out here, literally and figuratively. Like, there are so many people that are just absolute snakes, and they're absolutely going to do anything that they can to ensure that you don't actually become the person that God wants you to be, that you don't become the person that God made you to be. These are our enemies, okay? And as men, it is our sacred duty to protect and provide. Do you know how many people watch sports, right? They watch sports and they're, sporty ball, as one of the members in our group calls it. It's a sporty ball. Like, they're watching these sporty balls and they're paying more attention to basically glorified gladiators that are like our modern gladiators, right? They're paying attention more to the people's lives of these glorified gladiators than themselves and their own country and their own territory and their own family. And it's like, everybody's so distracted, especially the men out here that are not on semen retention, because I genuinely don't think that you can be on semen retention for, let's say, like 30 to 60 days and not start to question reality. Like, you just cannot do it, because many people can't go even just a week without combing. They just can't. They're depleted coomers. They're cooming all the time. They're cooming here, they're cooming there, they're cooming in that, they're cooming. It's gross. And you guys expect people to respect you when you guys are out here looking up all different kinds of corn on the internet, and you don't even respect yourself. You don't even respect yourself. You don't respect your family. You're not respecting. Maybe you tried to respect, but again, it's like Yoda says, there's do or do not. There is no try. You can try all you want, but at the end of the day, you're either doing something or you're not. And so you have to take accountability and accept that maybe you have a lot of room to grow. Maybe you're not quite as experienced in life as you need to be in order to get to the places in which you ought to go and God wants you to go. Maybe, just maybe, you need a little bit more discipline. Semen retention is not about the benefits. It's about getting closer to God and understanding how the discipline that you have is going to have a ripple effect throughout every other avenue of your life. It's like you never lose on semen retention because you always have the discipline to bounce back to whatever problem is arising. You always have the ability to bounce back. And this is what's so important and so vital for your understanding to really harness that virility and harness like the full moon energies tonight, right? Well, the full moon energy is intact, but the full moon is tonight. Now, I'm not like an astrologist, okay? I'm not like an astrology person, but I do understand and I do recognize why people follow astrology. And I understand that there's people out there that pay attention to the markets, you know, for like the stocks and all that, and Bitcoin and all these things. Like, they pay attention to how things are moving in the markets and how things are fluctuating during the full moon cycles. And I understand that they take this stuff seriously. And I understand that there's a reality to it. But I also understand that I don't need to worship this. I don't want to worship that. The only thing that I want to worship is Jesus Christ. That's the only thing I know I need to worship. The only thing that I need is Him. But for me, when I see so many people that are refusing to acknowledge the full moon energy, because that is a real thing, okay? What does the full moon represent, or what does the new moon represent? So tonight's also a blood moon, by the way. So there's going to be different kinds of rituals that people might do. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to participate in those rituals. I'm just saying that that's actually a reality. In society, they want you to believe that like full moon energy stuff, it's fake and it's this and it's that and there's nothing here. But have you ever been on semen retention around the full moon and you've been trying to manifest something, for example, and you have like this godlike mentality, this godlike savage mentality, and things are just going every which way for you? It seems like you just cannot lose. You know, that's part of the harnessing of the full moon energy and semen retention energy. And I don't think that you can be, let's say, whorish with your energy and still get the benefits of the full moon without spiritual repercussions. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, because let's say you're trying to manifest something, or let's say you're trying to create something into reality, but you are also promiscuous with your energy. You're giving this person, and it's like empty vessels you're giving to, right? You're just giving to like vacuums in the world. Like I said at the beginning, people are dead spiritually, a lot of them. A lot of people are just spiritually dead. So you're giving your energy to these vortexes and these vacuums. It's not doing anything. You're not making an impact. You're just you're not making an impact at all. You're just giving away energy for free. Well, you can harness the full moon energy and you can perceivingly get some benefits, right? Because even though I don't believe Satan can bless you. I don't think he can give gifts, let's say, but he can give what's already been created in the world, and he can maneuver the chessboard, right? He can play with the chess pieces as well. So that's what he does. He makes it seem like, oh, you're going to be starting to win here for the next, 5 or 6 moves of life, right? But then, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, you realize the game is rigged. You realize that this new age stuff or this hyper religious stuff, it's just too much. Like, you cannot actually live this way. You just cannot. And still be going to heavenliness or heaven itself. Because I believe heaven is just it's a place and it's a state of mind. Because I've been to hell. I know what hell feels like. I've been there. I've got the passports, okay? I've got the passports, and there are things that have happened there that I know I never want to experience again. It was only when I was in hell, spiritually speaking, that I was able to recognize my full need for God. And it was like, oh my gosh, I need God. Oh my gosh, I really need God, and he only wants me. And I was very bitter about that for a while. I didn't know exactly why I was bitter about it. And it was because I wanted to be the creator of my own being. It's like, well, yes, you are the curator of your own life, but you have to recognize that all of this, you didn't create this. Okay, you didn't create that. That was God. But you can co-create with what's available. Okay, God gave us everything. Like I said, God is a God of abundance and joy and prosperity and justice and truth. He gave us all of this to do something with it. We can go out and do anything with this. But are we going to be doing it for his will, or are we going to try to be doing it for our sake and what we want? Because do you actually want God? Do you actually want what's happening and what has happened? Do you want your relationship, do you really want your relationship to God, or do you want your perceived relationship? Because I call this a PIM, okay? A portrayal in mind, in my book, the Book of Oldishness. I call this a PIM because there are portrayals in mind that people are going to have about certain subjects or topics. And if they don't know how to actually live out these portrayals in mind, the portrayal in mind is going to take over them, okay? And Carl Jung had even said that people don't have ideas have people. I think that's very true. And I think it's a very astute observation. And I think it's a very apt description of what exactly happens for people. And semen retention frees you from these ideological subversions that you might not even know that you're locked into. Okay, it's not about, getting benefits with women. Okay, those are like surface level. And it'll happen. Don't get me wrong, it'll happen. But it's only when you stop worrying about it and you stop concerning yourself with it. Really, with anything. Whenever you stop concerning yourself with worry in of itself, whatever it is you're worrying about at all, that's when beautiful things start to happen. If you focus on the good things while acknowledging the maybe not so good things, but you problem solve, okay? I don't have any kind of tolerance, because I hate the word tolerance to begin with, but I have no kind of tolerance for people that are like, oh, here's a critique. I'm like, okay, well then what can we do to like rectify this? How can we change things? Oh, I don't know. bro, if you're gonna complain, go somewhere else. Because it's different though. I was talking about this with someone yesterday. It's like, it's different if you say, look, here's a critique that I have, but I'm not even sure how to go about solving it, but I know that this is an issue. That's much better than like, oh, this sucks and that sucks and blah, 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 blah. It's like, well then, why even bother? Like, why even bother acknowledging what's happening? Why even bother talk about like what's really going on? Because you're not actually talking about what's really going on. You're just trying to make excuses and try to be right. So many people are trying to be right rather than actually trying to find the truth or to seek the truth or to live in a way that offers utility. They're not really wanting that. They want to be right. And in their wanting to be right, that's where they become an enemy for me personally. Because look, and I'm not afraid to have enemies, because I understand that enemies are really just potential allies. And I know that I would rather have a firm enemy that I know is my enemy than someone that I think is an ally but is actually a backstabbing whatever. Okay, I don't want to even be involved with people that are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I just don't even want to be involved with people like that ever. Because I know what it's like to be involved with people like that. And it's a bunch of BS to deal with. And it's heavy on your soul. And it's not something to, it's not something that you want to look forward to. I would much rather look forward to an enemy that I know that I need to defeat than some other rando that appears to be on my side, but is actually just, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But anyways, guys, I hope this message was useful and insightful for you. I'm going to get going to the gym here. Beautiful morning. The sun feels good. It's not too hot yet, so that's nice. I cannot believe how hot it still is for September here where I'm at. Like, it's pretty warm, which I'm okay with, because that means that, get to be outside a little bit longer than usual. And because there's been times here where I'm at where we've had snow before Halloween. And man, it is wild. It is wild to be seeing snow before Halloween. And then, you get snow, at least where I'm from, you get snow until almost April or sometimes even May. So it's a pretty long time for winter to happen. But I hope everybody has a blessed day or evening or wherever you are watching this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Send me a message if you want to get started on the Godlike Mastery Initiation Program, or just have a general one-on-one, or join the Regal Change Academy, where we had that group with other like-minded individuals. And I'm being way more stern about who we're letting in with that, because the people that we already have in there, I want to make sure that they are protected by these outside influences that might disrupt their consciousness. Because so many people, they think they know things, and then they come in and they try to force people to believe certain things. And it's like, we don't force here. Okay, we don't force people to believe anything here. We're going to talk about it like adults, and we're going to come to conclusions based on a conversation, not a debate. Okay, I don't debate people. And people are like, oh, well, you have to debate. You have to debate. Oh my gosh, no, I don't. I choose not to. I'm going to choose to just have a conversation like a mature adult would, and try to find common ground and go from there. It doesn't need to be so complicated. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a blessed day. Peace. Until next time.